How Target and other retail giants are fighting to survive. Crash hits America's biggest chain hard. Survival of the fittest. This is the slogan as retail stores are having a major battle for survival. The current economic nightmare of the United States continues, with many businesses in different sectors struggling to maintain their position. As a result, many stores have been shut down, while others have been forced to reduce their number of branches. Retail industries like Target and Walmart have not escaped this economic fury, as both have encountered massive losses. The length of this economic downfall is still unknown, and everything remains a mystery to every business owner. So what is next for Target Corporation? And are they on the brink of a downfall?
Target, that major U.S. retailer, losing billions of dollars in market value over the last couple of weeks.
Target Corporation has established its identity as one of the top 8 retailers in the United States. Since its founding in 1902, the retail industry has grown over years to reach the top as they have established stores nationwide with its updated number of stores at 1,948 outlets as of 2023. Home to a total of 440,000 employees, the company gets billions of revenue, thereby summarizing a tale of its longevity in operation. However, things are taking a drastic turn of late since the economic pattern is placing Target Corporation into a bigger hole as seen by how their operations have been negatively affected. Currently, the United States is battling inflation as the Fed is trying to keep the situation under control, but their approach does not seem to shed much light since they are raising their interest rates, thus putting the country into a recession. The inflation has depleted the revenue of the company, indicated by how the net income declined from $1.8 billion to a profit margin of $183 million. The decline in sales has been contributed by the response of consumers toward inflation. Similarly, inflation has facilitated low purchasing power since the consumers are holding money more, with a fear of the potential worst to happen. Inflation has made the cost of living unbearable, minimizing the affordability of some commodities. The circumstance was so severe that it created an overload in inventory because no trade was taking place. In an effort to tame the condition, they reduced the cost of overall merchandise like household items, electronics, and clothing. Even when the company decided to slash the prices of such commodities at retail stores, this did not seem to be a convincing strategy for the consumers. Specifically, consumer behavior was edging towards essential goods, such as gasoline and food, since many focused on survival. As a result, the company didn't yield many profits from non-essential products, even when they tried to cut prices to dispose of the excess inventory on its shelves. To add more fuel to the fire, the last 2 quarters have been rough sailing for them, with a deterioration of profits as the chief executive officer of Target Corporation, Cornell Bryan, admitted that they are already feeling the bang of inflation. He acknowledges that this period is a tough time to be a retailer because of uncertainties in consumer mannerisms. Moreover, the inflationary business environment has caused their market share to go down by 3%, and this frightened investors who considered buying Target shares. Surprisingly, the decline of the market shares is the worst since 1987. Despite inflation playing a significant role in the crash, we cannot underestimate the power of how supply chain issues have worsened and placed the company in a double agitation. The major monster in the supply chain is the high freight cost, which has limited the capacity of the company to do business. To elaborate on how serious this problem is, the company had to set aside $1 billion on freight expenditure alone. The chief operating officer of Target Corporation, John Mulligan, confirmed this enormous budgetary allocation, stating they had to go deeper into their pockets to finance this venture. Likewise, he affirms that they ruled out the probability of freight constraints doing more harm until the company was faced with a similar problem, but with a greater collision, forcing them to do an emergency spending. On the other hand, the COVID-19 pandemic has also taken a larger portion in the supply chain problem. Correspondingly, the extensive lockdown in China has enhanced overcrowding at the seaports of Asia. In addition, the cost of tracking has become expensive since gas prices are hitting the ceiling. Yet again, the company received a slap on the face by over-ordering household commodities, such as TVs and furniture, which are costly to ship due to the amount of space they occupy. Equivalently, they were met with less demand, hence the stores were flooded, making the management dispose of them from the warehouses through price reductions. Even though the digital sales increased by 11%, this could not match up with the 90% profit drop, as the damage was already done by the supply chain issues. In a briefing, John Mulligan confirms how the intercontinental shipping is at a standstill, which is practically seen by how vessels are unable to achieve the lead time, and this sluggishness is attracting losses. Conversely, Brian Cannell says the supply chain issue is a complex problem that cannot be resolved overnight, citing that they have hired an additional total of 30,000 workers added to the supply chain department. Furthermore, organized retail crime has made things shift from bad to worse, which has resulted in inventory shrinkage. Occurrences of administrative errors, employee theft, and shoplifting are some of the actions that summarize this big blow. Unfortunately, these crimes have robbed the company of $400 million, and Target is crying foul of not getting immediate help from the legislature to make crackdowns on such cartels. As Target Corporation is stuck in quicksand, other big merchandising companies are nursing injuries from this economic disaster. More specifically, Target's rival company, Walmart, is on the bucket list of the named firms in this category. Do not let their net worth valuation of $402.5 billion and their status as the #1 global retailer fool you that Walmart is operating smoothly. Behind the scenes, Walmart is also taking the blade of inflation. The chief executive officer of Walmart, Doug McMillon, narrates how the revenue was lowered by 1%. In an interview, he remarked how the projections took a different direction than what was expected. Similarly, consumer habits also changed since buying food was the major priority. This shift in users' habits hurts the sales of furniture and clothing. They lost the footing of their market share with an 11% fall, which is the biggest decline in 3 decades. Moreover, the repercussions of COVID-19 are still visible, since there was a rise in the wages of its employees. The CEO voiced how they had to hire more workers to cover the sick employees who were on leave. Furthermore, the company has also been battling with supply chain challenges that have tampered with smooth operations. To start, the enormous size of the company is creating logistical problems, since managing and coordinating millions of products and making sure they reach the required destination is an overwhelming task that needs balance. Secondly, identifying supplies is critical, since one wrong move by a supplier poses a potential danger. Considering they have numerous suppliers, the accounting books have to be reconciled as well through a complex procurement process. Third, the emergence of e-commerce has taken a different trajectory in the retailing field because most customers do online shopping. This technological advancement has posed a potential risk to Walmart, and it has forced them to put in place measures to align with the innovation. Lastly, the high cost of fuel has robbed the company's revenue. Regarding this, the company had to pay $160 million to cater to the rising price. This economic dilemma has also taken strides in the Home Depot retailing entity, which has seen customer transactions decline. The decline has been subjected to inflation, which has attributed customer transactions to a record 4% fall. There were also concerns about their low performance in the stock market. According to the stats, it recorded a 25% drop in the Dow. The rival retailer, Lowe's, also experienced a stumble in market share as shown by its 20% decline. In another story, Best Buy retailing company expects a 13% loss because of similar inflationary environment. Distinctively, the rate of retail crime is increasing at an alarming rate, and no retail company is safe in the hands of such goons conducting this criminal adventure. As a consequence, retailers such as Abercrombie & Fitch and Macy's Columbia Sportswear lost $135,000 worth of inventory. This elicited a crackdown by the California police force in which 9 people were charged and many remain in custody. Are we yet to experience the ultimate worst? Well, time will tell.